Have everybody's attention here in the media center. We are now joined by Kurt Busch, driver of the number 41 Monster Energy drink Haas Automation Chevrolet for Stewart-Haas Racing. Kurt, trying to punch your ticket next week into Miami in the championship for, your Cubs came back from a 3-1 deficit. Do you feel like you can come out here, win this race on Sunday, and punch your ticket to Miami?
Yeah, that's what we're hopeful for. Our scenario to advance is to win. It's very similar to last year on how we made it through the round of 16, the round of 12, the round of 8, and we find ourselves with a must-win at Phoenix. It's a unique format, and it's a lot of fun to work through it and to have a shot at it with only one race to go before the championship round. It makes you feel like you've had a successful season, but we always want more, and we know we can do more, and we want to try to go out with a win here in Phoenix to give ourselves a shot at a championship for all of us at Stewart-Haas Racing, but for most importantly, Haas Automation, Monster Energy, and for Chevrolet in our final couple races.
Okay, we're going to start up front with Lee and then go to Claire and up to Tom.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. As strong as this organization was in the first half of the season, can you point to anything as to what's kind of gone on in the chase? Does it have anything to do with the transition to Ford? Last week Zippy said that you guys just never found the balance once the conditions of the weather and everything changed. But, like I said, you guys had so much speed at the start of the season. Can you point to anything in particular?
It's tough to really point at anything in particular. I feel like our downforce has continued to improve. I see good wind tunnel sheets. I see, engine dyno sheets where we've improved there as well. We knew that we had our work cut out for us in a transition year. We just thought that if we went out there and did the same job, that we would be able to produce the same types of results. And maybe that's a little bit of our fault, of just trying to do everything the same, similar to what you would run here in February, March at Phoenix, is what we're going to run here this weekend. Maybe we didn't advance far enough with our setups throughout the summer. What we did is we just played to our strength, which was just go there with consistency and not have too many variables that have changed, because we know there's so much change on the horizon.
We'll go next to Claire, and then to Tom, and then to Wolfgang.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. In this sport, when you face going to the finale and getting into it, and being a comeback athlete, making up ground and then getting into the finale, and you compare it to like the Cubs, your team that came back, can you find in other sports draw from that and coming back and gaining and having to manufacture it this weekend in order to get in, if you could talk about that?
Other sports, it's two teams fighting it out. It's one of them has a 50% chance, the other one's got a 50% chance. In NASCAR or motorsports with this type of format, it's a much lesser of a percentage chance because you have so many other guys who are still involved. And so there's 8 of us that are alive. 2 of us are locked in. That means there's 6 of us that are trying to separate themselves and be part of those 2 spots that are left over. So lots of math can be thrown into it, and there's other variables with teammates that are in, teammates that are out. And in all honesty, it comes down to raw speed. It comes down to execution and being able to have the perfect type of race. That's what this format demands, is perfection and being able to win at any moment, to be able to continue to advance or to be able to win the title. The way that our championship has been won the last couple of years, the winner won Homestead. He won the race. He didn't just finish 3rd or 10th, or when I won the championship, I finished 5th that day, which was enough to win. The format has now been created where you have to win to advance and to win the championship. You just give it your all. There's no second guessing things. You go for it. You don't look back, and you try to be your best at that best moment. But of course, you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself or ask too much of the crew chief. You want to blend everybody together to create the best powerful result that you can. You don't want to stretch it too far, but you want to give it everything you have.
Go next to Tom and then back to Wolfgang.
Hi, Kurt. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. You and Kevin are in kind of a unique situation because based on where you guys are in points, it's going to be virtually impossible for both of you to advance. If one of you wins, you're going to knock out the other. What sort of dynamic does that set up within the team, and is that an additional challenge for you guys?
It's the same as every week. We each want to win for our specific car number. We both want to see the most success happen for Stewart-Haas Racing. But ultimately, the way I've always digested and understood team cooperation, teamwork, and the way that everybody can be successful is that 6 days out of the week you work together, and on the 7th you go race. So may the best Stewart-Haas team win on Sunday and advance to the finals.
Go next to Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Monzer from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. With Gene Haas now heavily involved in F1, how much is he involved in the NASCAR team to make important decisions, and especially this weekend away in Brazil? Is the team in permanently communication contact with him in Brazil?
You know, there's only so much time in the day that one individual can have, and since the F1 deal started up a couple of years ago, we've seen less of Gene. But when he does come back and interacts with our NASCAR program, it's much more in depth, especially around the automotive side of it. It's not necessarily the politics side. It's what can he do to make the car go faster. And therefore, what I see a lot of involvement from Gene is the wind tunnel side of things. Formula One is the greatest platform in motorsports to showcase engineering talent, design, and ingenuity. And the downforce side is something that he's trying to help implement on our NASCAR cars. And so it's great to have a series above the top series in the United States to come back from and to add to.
Any additional questions for Kurt? Go to Jim.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. Considering how things have gone this year with the aero package, what are your expectations on how next year may go with the changes, proposed changes? Do you think it'll be better? Will it kind of taper off later in the season, or do you think it might be better accepted or on the track?
Yeah, I didn't see the results that I was hoping for with the lesser downforce. I was hoping for more side-by-side racing, cars being less dependent upon aero to maintain their lap time, and to be able to see cars come from the back to the front. I still believe this fits more into a Goodyear's category on finding a softer tire or a tire that can show the results of when a driver abuses the tire, then you start to slide around some, and then you fade towards the latter part of that run. So I'm hopeful that anytime we take downforce off our cars, that we can take weight out of them as well, which I don't see that happening with all the safety additions. But we need to continue to get a softer tire, a tire that will drop off further and show cars that run up front in the beginning and they burn up their tires and that they drop off towards the end of the run. I think that's the key.
Well, Kurt, thanks for taking the time to join us this morning, and best of luck this weekend.
Great, thank you.
Take care.